one of the things to understand about theological education is that it's deeply rooted in relationships both to the church and to the academy. And both of those contexts are changing rather dramatically right now. We're going through a period of really enormous change.
So it's this kind of rich cultural transition that we're seeing here, in which we need to continue finding ways of teaching and telling the biblical story, the Christian story, in new and engaging ways.
We're trying to move from, I think, what you might call a just-in-case curriculum to a just-in-time curriculum, and one that is no longer one-size-fits-all, but one that actually meets the needs of individual students as they come into this place from diverse contexts and as they're called to diverse kinds of settings.
Faith formation is at the center of the work that we're doing with this new curriculum. Faith is not just something that happens in your head, it's something that happens in your heart, something that happens in your body. We're not just educating thinkers, we're educating leaders and scholars and people who feel their faith at a very deep level and embody it in significant ways.
So what we find is that we need to be continually proactive, finding ways in which we can prepare people for ministries that require innovation more now than ever before.
So the big changes in the curriculum are especially in our master's programs, especially the Master of Divinity and the Master of Arts. The biggest changes, I think, is that we've restructured how we understand our courses. There's a lot more electives, a lot more choices for students. And the other big difference is that instead of it being a list of courses that you have to fulfill, what we're imagining now is a list of outcomes, a list of goals, a list of competencies that you as a student have to demonstrate. And there's lots of different paths you might take to demonstrate those competencies, and we're here to kind of partner with you and help you get to those competencies.
If you think about the curriculum, you might envision it as something that has three concentric circles. For our Master of Divinity programs, which prepare people for parish ministry, those courses at the center, which really give the signature, what are we really most about, include things that immerse people in the study of Scripture, immerse them in the study of kind of the traditions coming out of the Reformation, and then prepare them to think creatively about the kind of missional context to which they're going. If you move from that central ring, the signature courses, out to that middle ring, which we call the core courses, that's where things become more vocationally specific. There'll be things at that level that our Master of Divinity students would focus on in terms of worship leadership and preaching, greater depth in terms of the Lutheran confessional tradition for our Lutheran students, finding ways in which they can be more contextual in their learning experiences, going to congregations and other ministry settings in order to do more learning in context, so their theological education is deeply connected with the ministry settings to which they're going. The outer ring would be the electives. And for our MDiv offerings, we now have more elective possibilities than ever before. For our MA students, we also have those same three rings. They too start with the signature courses, so that our MA students who are preparing for lay ministries in children, youth, and family, or congregational mission and leadership, or whether they're planning to go on and do further graduate study, all of those people will still have that same grounding in Scripture, in the traditions, and thinking about ministry context today. Then when we get into that middle ring, the MA concentration courses, we'll find that that's where you focus in and do more work specifically in children, youth, and family, or whether you might do more with parish education, the various kinds of ministry specialties that our students planning to go to. Or if they're planning on doing advanced work, that's where you'd focus in on New Testament or Old Testament, church history or theology, in order to prepare you for further graduate study. Our MA students, like the MDiv students, also have more elective options than they've ever had before, so that they're able to tailor their degrees in ways that they think are really going to serve them most effectively in the years ahead.
Well, I think students come here with already a lot of experience and already a lot of ideas of what it is they're passionate about. And so instead of coming into a curriculum that's already very much structured and laid out for you, the gift of the new curriculum is that you get to come here and shape it more to your passions. And I think that is just only an empowering move.
The other way we built flexibility into the program is different pathways through which you can complete the degree. It used to be traditionally Lutheran MDiv students in particular would do 2 years of coursework, go on internship, and then come back and do a last year. Now we're imagining ways in which you might be able to do internships and school at the same time, ways that we might be able to shrink the amount of time that you have to be here, and just, again, meet you where you are.
And this is the shift from teaching-based to learning-centered kinds of approaches, and it's a shift that says it's not enough to simply say a student went through a class and got a good grade. We're actually asking more than that. We're asking something that's more complex, that's a harder kind of task. Can you take the ideas that you've been working with? Can you figure out how to preach in a very specific setting? Can you work with 16-year-olds around helping them understand why the Gospel of Mark is different from the Gospel of Luke?
So one of the big components of the new curriculum is a portfolio. It's an opportunity for you to gather together artifacts, evidence of the things that you have learned, and then provide you a space to reflect on that both within yourself, with your other students, and also with faculty. The main purpose of the portfolio in my mind is to show you that your learning isn't done the moment we hand you a diploma at graduation.
What we're interested in is, does this work have legs? Can our students do this in varieties of contexts? And what a portfolio does is it also invites the student to be an active part of that process.
Our hope is that you will leave this place empowered by the knowledge that our faculty together has gathered. Our hope is that you will leave with a fully formed faith that will help touch people yearning for meaning in this world. Our hope is that you will leave this place knowing that you don't know it all, and there's something else that needs to be discovered out there, more books that you have to read, more people that you have to meet, more experiences that you need to have. In short, our hope is that you leave this place yearning for more. And I think that's the biggest change in the curriculum, is that we're not done after 4 years here, after 3 years, or after 2 years here. You still have a lot of work to do. This is just the beginning of that journey.